So we've got a different way of working to a lot of technology organisations. We approach it from the business perspective, and we've got a lot of people who work for us who've come from the industry, from the operations side. So we really keep it really simple, and we talk about what we call is we talk the walk. Basically, we deliver on what we said we're going to do and how all that works as far as making promises on the business that we go with that. So we've got a lot of people in our organisation that have run contact centres, have come from outsourcers, bigger, larger organisations that have had the experience to bring it from the other side. And then the technology part of that follows secondly. So we've got a really simple ethos as far as employees go, and the solutions we deliver really with that. And the way that we work is that we actually really engage with the customer. And what we've done with Northumberland Water is there was a project called Kick the Dust, and there was a massive change out of a lot of IT systems and technology that drove that, but brought a lot of challenges as well. So for us, it was more about engaging with the business, understanding what they wanted to achieve, because contact centres can be difficult and they don't always get great press as well. So it's around about how you can deliver a solution that actually fits with Northumberland's customers, and also is successful and delivered on time as well. So these are some of the organisations that we've worked with in the past, and you can see there's quite some strong brand names in there. Tesco Bank, UCAR. UCAR is another organisation that was based up in the north. I don't know if you remember Northern Rock. So that was one of the government initiatives that sprang out of that, around the bad debt that came with it. And then all the way through to BP. BP is a worldwide global organisation, as you know, and they've actually got contact centres that run across the globe as well. And we've got a data centre spread in APAC, Europe, and North America, and driven out of a big hub in London as well that goes with it. And then we've done a lot of transformation projects with companies like Provident, PFG, and Moat that we're working with at the moment. But we also work with a lot of big organisations like Vodafone and Capita that we complement their capabilities with PC1 and our capabilities that go with it. So what have we actually done with NWL NWG? So we've put in an estate across 3 contact centres. You can see there it's over 500 agents in what we call front office. So front office is where you've got agents who are interacting with the customers over the phone. It'll be over chat. We do things like PCI compliance for financial payments and things like that as well. And then we also have done a lot with what we call unified communications. So that's where you bring a lot of technologies together onto the desktop and marry them together and make them quite easy to use. And workforce planning as well. So one of the big things in some of the larger contact centres, have you got enough agents to manage the phones? Are you going to answer the customer calls on time and do all the things that go with that? And then the other part of that, which is quite topical at the moment, is something called PCI compliance. And that's around the fact that when people are making payments over the phone, you're not storing their credit card data or writing it down on post-it notes and things that go with that. So one of the things that's really important, and a lot of customers of this, I don't know, when you ring into a contact centre and you want to know that when you're providing your credit card details, that that's actually encrypted and agents aren't actually listening and doing work with that. So that's quite relevant at the moment. That's part of the project that we're doing with that. And then, in the previous talk, I heard IBM talk about CRM, customer relationship management. So it's about taking data and putting it in front of the agents when customers call in and making it relevant to the call and what they're trying to do. So we've got quite a lot of work that we're doing around the knowledge base on that as well, and bringing that power to the agents as well. So that's a really simplistic use of knowledge base that we're doing in that as well. And then this is really where I touched on this a little bit earlier, and it's quite relevant because I've been in the technology space for a number of years, and this is all about being able to do and engage with the business as well, because technology is okay for the sake of technology, but it's got to fit a business need. And you see big, large projects, especially in larger organisations where technology is deployed and it's difficult to see what the benefit of that was at the end of it. So obviously Northumberland Water want to see the benefit for their customers and also the ease that they use with that. So, typical industry approach is just, customer buys a system, they go live, and then the organisation will change and they'll have different people that come and manage that relationship. What PC1 do is that we stay involved and we have something called a client manager, and that's normally somebody from the industry that's worked in a contact centre and understands the operations that go with it. And then we do the normal things around support, service, and we keep making sure that solution's fit for purpose. And that's really the difference between us and a software vendor, where we're not selling more software. It's all about where we can improve and what we can do. And one of the things that, although in the middle of the project we're working with Northumberland at the moment, is the fact that we feel there's a better way to automate payments. So that's one of the projects that I'll probably kick off as well, that we go through with that. So some of the quotes that we've got back from the way that we work, because we're very customer centric as well, and it's very easy to put case studies up on the board, but you're only as good as what the feedback you get at the time. So as you can see, some of Nigel's feedback, Lucy's feedback, and Lisa's there around what we've done and how important it is, because the contact centre is the customer facing part of Northumberland Water for a lot of customers. And especially in the water industry, where you've got a lot of regulatory change that's going on at the moment, and also there is a lot of change in the business model as well. And I've seen that in utility companies in the previous, when the deregulation of electricity and gas, and everyone jumped on the back, and then you still see today that a lot of utility companies sell telecoms and do that. So there's some challenges that we're trying to help Northumberland Water through with that as well. And then we've done some award programs with Northumberland Water to the industry and within NWG. And this is something you don't normally see on a slide, where we're really engaged with what Northumberland's core values are. And this is something that I think Nigel's brought to the organisation as well, especially the IT group and the business as well. So we like to try and align ourselves with that the people involved in the project. And we're trying to make sure that PC1 values fit in with that, because it's an ongoing relationship. So this is something that we've extracted that's actually part of an awards program that's been put forward over the next couple of months. And then basically our support framework is, I'm sure there's lots of vendors in the tent today that will talk about the model and how they work, but we go back to what we said earlier about walk the walk and deliver on what our commitments are that go with it. So we've got a number of core solutions that we'll continue to work with NWL on. It's not just about making sure that the system's fit for purpose and works. It's around how we can bring improvements to the customer's satisfaction and their own MPI scores with that. So there's a number of things that we do around the core solutions. And then finally, to keep this, is what makes us different from a lot of people at the moment. So we'll talk about having the right attitude, coming and listening and learning from the business, making suggestions, all the way through to, we don't just make excuses. No project ever goes smoothly or works first time. There is always something that picks out with that. And I think it's having the ability to learn and constantly change around that, and flexibility that goes with it. And we do feel that we do offer solutions to around solving some of those business problems, because even in this project, there's probably about 10 different software vendors that we've brought together into this one solution around the customer experience that they do that. Then just one thing to mention on the back of that is we have been really successful at what we do. If you look at the slides, I talked about some of the customers earlier. We've actually come together with another business. We change in the technology space as much as anybody else, and our company were merged with another company called Connect just over a week ago, and doubled the size of our business. So we're growing ourselves, and we've just turned into a £26 million business over the last couple of weeks by bringing that merger together, and it will complement what we're doing in the market as well. So there, it's a fantastic fit. They've got the same ethos as us. They're accredited to ISO standards that are relevant with this. They've got a lot of knowledge base, not what we call network management systems, where proactively monitoring systems that go with that. And they've got clients that are aligned with ours as well. So it's a perfect fit for us to see where we can grow with that. So we take the two combined businesses, and we are quite a major player in the market now, and we're working with a lot of organisations, as you can see there. So it's straight away we've got some fantastic names that we work with as customers. And then at the bottom you'll see, for those that have been in the industry or have seen it before, we work with BT, Verizon, Vodafone, AT&T, so all the major players. I'd say just about 70% of the contact centres in the UK that will touch it some way or the other, whether it's systems integration or whether it's providing the full-blown project that goes with it. Okay, so we're going to continue and work forward, and we're looking forward to continuing our relationship with NWL. Thank you.
Awesome.